Salam, everybody, and welcome again to this edition of our COP27 review and MOP 34 review, among other environmental cooperation and meetings that are happening this week in Egypt. Last time we reviewed some of the agendas, and today we're also going to review some few. Today being the last day of COP27 in Egypt. It has been a very busy meeting, busy days, with very many different level and categories of meetings taking place at this final week. And so some of the few agendas that I would like us to see, to look at, include first, there is what they call IBER Drola. If you like, it's Iberdrola. So Iberdrola, they have been looking at the 2030 neutralization of carbon dioxide. And so this means that by 2030, hopefully, most industries and transport and the people who heavily use fossil fuel will have reduced the use and the consumption of fossil fuel and transitioned into at least green energy. And so this is one of the agenda that were being looked at in that conference called Iberdrola. Iberdrola. And so they also are looking at 10 years later, that is 2040, they are looking at zero emission. Okay? And so it is a great hope, and all the industrial players and everybody who is involved in industries and transportation, very many industries that use fossil, are going to commit themselves to this. And so it will be a great day. And so there are some of the deliberations that they arrived at, and some of them include for example, there were drivers that were proposed to drive this and to make this a reality. And this is where I would like us as Africans to focus. And in terms of innovation and creativity, we need to look at the areas of renewable energy and also the intelligent network. And so we are presented by an opportunity of using the AI technology, the artificial intelligence technology. We need to study this a lot. We also need to study a lot about renewable energy and how cheap we can be able to make our own devices. Not to compete with the market, because this competition, industrial competition, is what has brought us here. But at least for us to have cheap products for this transition to become a reality. We are going to take advantage of most of the renewables, especially those which are favored by our tropical climate, are going to be predominantly produced here in Africa. And also probably our government should focus on trying to lure industrialists from Europe to at least invest in Africa for this to happen, because there is wind everywhere, so we cannot compete on wind. But at least we can leverage on the tropical climate that we have. And so these intelligent networkings are very important. And of course, there will be a lot of green procurement. This is why I am really upbeat about us developing our own industries and also coming up with innovations and creativity that are going to drive this. And so, those being part of the solutions that we are going to look at and that are going to give us a cue on where to develop jobs and works. And so, among other things that I came across the climate laws, and the people who are in the legal fraternity are also going green. And so, some of the laws that were looked at were the climate laws and governance. So this is where our politicians need to really focus around, especially those who have committed already themselves. Like, for example, the Dagoretti South MP, John Kiarie, KJ, has committed a bill that suggest whatever road network development will be undertaken, there shall be a mandatory planting of trees along the roadside, and if it is dual carriageway, also at the middle. And so such people are going to be engaged, and I'm sure in other African countries there can be such push, so that at least we can make our continent green, as it were. And so there's another law, the climatic law, and there is a course on that with very many specializations. So people who are already in the legal scholarship and practice can look into this. There is also another one about the legal tools meant to build capacity for climate justice. So these again, lawyers and magistrates and judges need to look at this. And so also there is another opportunity around the area of markets. And so there are laws that are going to look at businesses and are going to protect skills, or rather even promote skills, and looking at this from a multilateral perspective. And so this involves a lot of corporates and businesses that seek to offer solution during this critical process of climate action. And so it has been a very busy week, and so far, as you can see, I'm trying to move the speed so that at least we can have something at the end of the day that is going to give us hope and is going to lead us into a brighter future, or rather a greener future. And so already there were very many other things that were going on. For example, there was the launching of an initiative called FAST. There was another initiative also that was launched. It's called CRISPS, but it's CRSP. And so these are very important initiatives that will need us to look to study more and understand what this means, because these already initiatives that are in implementation. And so if there is any promise that is going to be fulfilled in future, these initiatives are going to give the cue to that success. And of course, if it is ready jobs and so on and so forth, this is where jobs are. But also, this is where creativity and business also is. There's another initiative that it is called I Can. And so it is everybody. This is personal responsibility. People who want to be part of the solution really, this is like an advocacy. And you should be compelled to try and be part of this I Can initiative. And so all these things, you're going to find them really broken down into palatable sizes for a common wananchi in our website and on my social medias. And so please continue to like and subscribe in my YouTube channel, Isaac Muiruri Imunza, and also www.imunza.org. You're going to find all this information. And so today I'm just highlighting because it is a lot. It has been a crazy week, and also I had an exam in between, which I got a refer for. But I'm happy. I'm happy to do this for the public and giving the public a priority. And so there have been a lot of discussions around how to address through mechanisms losses and damage to infrastructure. This was one of the main agenda that was agreed upon on the first day. And of course, nothing much has happened, but at least there is a mechanism that was adopted. And so they are looking at this mechanism should help to adopt and also innovation. I've talked about innovation so much today. And of course, it is also looking at technologies, like I said, looking at the industries of the future. And so this adaptation also needs actions. And so this adaptation should not be like the Glasgow or the Paris agreement, which was just words. And so we are really looking at how this is going to happen, and with the theme around adaptation, there's a lot of hope for the same. And so I think this will not die like how the mitigation thematic died. It was not successful, and that's why many people are very angry. And so we hope there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And so there was a gender day, but this gender day also was a bit biased. It focused on women. And so it focused on women agencies in climate dialogues, and also the implementation of the ACWAP initiative launch. So women, there is a specific initiative for you, the ACWAP. And so be proactive, go and look for more information, follow up, and I'm sure something great is going to come out of it. And so there was another high-level meeting which involved a panel whereby the voice of women was highlighted by leaders. And of course, there was a lot of debate about the climate, about policy, about implementation, and of course about how women also suffer. Because in Africa, I don't know in Europe and other continents, but in Africa, women are increasingly becoming breadwinners. And so the space of the dominant male in the household or the house setup is very fast diminishing, simply because the boy child again has been going through mental health issues, because there's too much expectation from the boy child. But I always say that there was a problem in the transitioning from traditional Africa into modern Africa. There was a lot of mismanagement from the Christian fraternity, from the Muslim fraternity, because these are the people who brought this civilization, the modern civilization. And so they disregarded who we were, what we were, and where we were going and where we were from. And so a lot of these have really shown the negative impact into the subsequent generations that have been coming or raised from 1940s all through to date. But at least today we have a larger population of people who are educated into this modern lifestyle or civilization. And so this is our enlightenment. I don't know whether it is enough, this is something for you to debate around and also to think through. But in my opinion, we really stand a great chance of trying to also help those who are not able to afford school, because even if we have a higher population of people who are educated, we have a very big number of people who do not do well in this modern dispensation, simply because the kind of education and the mode of education was still biased. And like I always say, it sieves all the system, the religious system, the economic system, political system, economic system of the modern world that is undertaken by the nation states, always is biased against those who are felt that are not good enough. And so the women agenda continued. And of course, there was a lot about the African woman facing climate realities. And like I said, if you hear anything about African woman or African youth or the African story, it's all about wailing. But we want to move away from that. We are better than that, and we can do much more. And so what was really captivating was the discussion around climate change and COVID-19. And so women had an opportunity to share their experiences. But at the end of the day, remember, most of these decisions, especially in Africa, were not taken by women. They were taken by men. The lockdowns, the injection, and so on and so forth. Women who looked active were either playing second fiddle as ministers and so on and so forth. And so the countries, I remember we were analyzing countries that were led by women, like Germany, like Australia, and other Scandinavian countries, like Switzerland as well, like New Zealand and other Scandinavian countries that were led by women, performed very well with regard to COVID-19 measures. And so, well, that was a very interesting topic. And so finally, there was another conference on water. And so I'd like to invite you in the next episode for you to see how this was covered. And alongside, there were other agendas around the energy and, of course, the legacy that the leaders whom we currently have want to leave. And finally, there will be something on the solutions that happened today or are continuing to happen. And so let us see each other at the end or the other end of the break. And so have a good one. Remember to subscribe, to like, and to share. So thank you so much, and let us keep on engaging. See you soon.